Welcome to this explainer. We are jumping straight into the complex, fascinating mechanics of Earth's foundational systems. Have you ever actually stopped to think about our planet as a giant, incredibly intricate machine? Because really, that's what it is. There's this massive, invisible engine running all around us, every single day, keeping the air breathable, the water flowing, and the soil fertile. Today, we're going to look under the hood to see exactly how that engine works. But more importantly, we're going to explore how modern human consumption, the stuff we buy, use, and throw away all the time, is fundamentally changing its mechanics.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1. Nature's invisible engine. 2. Pools and fluxes explained. 3. The big three elements. 4. Earth's geological timeline. And finally, 5. The anthropogenic shift.
Let's kick things off with Section 1. Nature's invisible engine.
Now look at this term, biogeochemical cycles. Please don't let this massive academic word intimidate you. It sounds like something you'd find on a terrifying college final exam, right? But honestly, it's just the ultimate recycling system of our planet. Bio just means life, geo means earth, and chemicals simply refers to the elements themselves. You see, nature literally never throws anything away. It just continuously repurposes and moves molecules and elements around.
This whole recycling system basically relies on two halves working together. On one side, we've got the physical components. These are all the non-living factors. Think the rocks beneath our feet, the minerals in the soil, the water in the oceans, and the climate itself. Then, on the other side, working directly alongside those physical parts, are the biological components. This is the living engine. The plants, the animals, and even those microscopic microbes down in the dirt. These two halves are just constantly, endlessly passing materials back and forth.
Moving right along to Section 2, Pools and Fluxes explained.
To understand how this engine actually runs, Earth scientists use two really helpful concepts, pools and fluxes. Think of a pool like a bathtub filled with water. It represents stored material. A flux, on the other hand, well, that's the flow. It's the faucet pouring water into the bathtub, or it's the drain emptying that water out. Nature is essentially just a massive, mind-boggling network of these interconnected bathtubs and pipes, constantly storing up and flowing out.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that a pool is a relatively uniform amount of material that shares a common characteristic. Take carbon dioxide stored in the atmosphere, for example. That is a massive pool. You could think of it as a gigantic invisible bank account of carbon just floating up in the sky. And the Earth has these carbon bank accounts everywhere, in the sky, deep in the oceans, and buried way underground in fossil fuels. By contrast, a flux is all about the movement and the transformation between those bank accounts. Take evaporation. When the hot sun heats up the soil and water moves up into the atmosphere as vapor, that's a flux. It's literally the faucet turning on, moving water out of the soil bathtub and straight into the atmospheric bathtub, constantly shifting the balance of the system.
Let's zoom in a bit with Section 3, the big three elements.
Out of all the elements out there, the source material zeroes in on carbon, water, and nitrogen as the three cycles that are absolutely critical to human well-being and the natural world. Why these three? Well, water is literally the medium of life, carbon is the fundamental building block of all living cells, and nitrogen is absolutely essential for making DNA and proteins. If the bathtubs and drains, the pools and fluxes, for these specific three elements get thrown out of whack, the entire planetary engine starts to sputter.
This brings us to Section 4, Earth's geological timeline.
To really appreciate this system, you have to look at the Earth's track record, which is just staggering. We are talking about major planetary milestones here. Around 400 million years ago, plants colonized the land. 200 million years ago, mammals evolved. Fast forward to about 200,000 years ago, and modern humans finally enter the picture. And about 10,000 years ago, the last ice age ended. Now here is the truly remarkable part. Despite these massive, world-altering biological shifts, the Earth's engine, those pools and fluxes of carbon, water, and nitrogen, managed to maintain incredible stability, especially in that 10,000-year window since the last ice age. The bathtubs never overflowed, the drains never fully clogged. Nature's closed-loop recycling was, essentially, perfect.
But here's where the story changes. Section 5, the anthropogenic shift.
So for 10,000 years, things were remarkably balanced. But then came the 18th and 19th centuries. The Industrial Revolution acted as a profound, massive shock to the planetary system. It initiated a rapid rise in human population, sure, but more importantly, it triggered a staggering increase in human activity and resource consumption. This is exactly what we call the anthropogenic shift. Anthropo meaning human, and genic meaning caused by.
Just compare Earth's natural closed-loop recycling to our modern human consumption. In nature, every single output is an input for something else. There's no trash. But our product life cycles, they're totally linear. We extract resources, we manufacture consumer electronics or single-use plastics, we use them for a fraction of a second in geological time, and then we just throw them away. The source material links this linear path directly to massive physical resource demands and a rapidly growing crisis of electronic waste. Essentially, we are yanking materials out of the Earth's natural bathtubs way faster than the natural fluxes can ever replace them, and then we're dumping them into brand new toxic pools.
As a result, human activity is now fundamentally altering all major ecosystems. We are aggressively cranking the faucets and plugging the drains on those stable biogeochemical cycles we talked about, particularly for carbon, water, and nitrogen. We're pumping ancient stored carbon up into the atmosphere, we're redirecting massive water fluxes for heavy industry, and we're flooding the environment with synthetic nitrogen for agriculture. Because we shifted from closed loops to this linear consumption model, we now desperately need new sustainability metrics, like life cycle assessments, just to try and measure and mitigate this damage. We literally have to start tracking our own human fluxes.
So, I want to leave you with this provocative thought to consider the very next time you pick up a brand new smartphone, or buy a fast fashion t-shirt, or even just grab a paper coffee cup. How does the lifespan of that specific product impact the invisible engine that keeps us all alive? Can we, as a species, learn to redesign our consumption to actually mimic the Earth's perfect, closed-loop plumbing? Or are we just going to keep draining the bathtubs until there is absolutely nothing left? Thank you so much for exploring the mechanics of our planet with us in this explainer. Keep questioning the cycles around you,